Hello. Uh, so this is probably going to be, excuse me, I just took a drink of water. Some of it went down the wrong pipe. Um, this is probably going to be a little bit short just because I am waiting to hang out with my brother. Um, Also, I'm plugging my phone in since it's almost dead. But I just wanted to do a little update. There we go. I just wanted to do a little update just on where I am health wise, weight wise, all that kind of stuff. So if you're following my Instagram, which is same as YouTube handle, so at Dead Girl Deadlifts, um, then you would see that I recently hit 26.6 or 226.6 for my weight, which I was really excited about, and I am really excited about only because that's like new losses now since the last time I kind of fell off the wagon and all that with my weight loss. And I think because last time I was focusing so hard, like I kept saying like, oh, I just want to like, be better and whatever, but I was really heavily focusing on the weight loss. Um, I think it just like it really stuck with me when I gained the weight back and I felt really garbage about it. And I am really excited about the new weight loss. Um, but in the same breath, like I'm really excited about how I'm feeling physically now. So just kind of a little update on that. I've kind of stalled out right around I kind of bounce between the 226 and a half and 227 from day to day. I try not to weigh myself every day because that way lies madness. Um, but when I do weigh myself, I kind of bounce between that. So I've kind of stalled out there. And I'm actually kind of okay with that just for the time being because I knew that my weight would begin to taper off eventually. I lost, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I lost what, like 11 pounds in a pretty short amount of time. And a lot of that was me just changing the way I ate. So if you only change one factor, eventually you're going to stall out. So, um, yeah. So I had changed the way that I ate. And I'm still doing that, but I've kind of hit the point where unless I start significantly cutting back on my calorie intake, um, I'm gonna have problem. Like I'm not gonna lose any more weight. Um, and I get a little nervous about that. Like obviously there's a certain range that I could cut down to and still like be within a healthy range. Honestly, I could probably cut down to like 15, 1200 calories a day and still be healthy. But for me personally, cutting back that much, it creates some problems just mentally. Um, and I feel like is a really slippery slope for me personally. For some people that works great. I actually work with somebody who I don't want to say like fitness nut, but does like bodybuilding and stuff. And so like they really have to count their calories. Um, and I think they stick to like I think it's like 1200 calories um pretty much every day. And so it works for them, but they're also doing it like for competitions. Um and so I think they go through cycles, but I don't know enough about their situation to speak too much on that. But because I'm not doing competitions, I'm doing this to change my life, not for like a short stint counting calories. I To that extreme and like cutting back to like 12 or 1500 calories, I think might be a little bit of a slippery slope. I might try it a couple days a week just to kind of help things along. Um, but for the time being, I'm really comfortable with the calorie intake that I have, um, which is right around 2000. And I'm not super strict on that. If it's within like 100 calories, I'm usually okay with that. But it's right around 2000. Um, But to kind of excuse me, to kind of compensate for the fact that I've kind of stalled out with the actual weight loss from just changing my eating habits, um, I got a gym membership. I actually started working out. I went to my first day of the gym last night. um, Anybody that knows me knows that when I was younger, I would go to the school gym all the time. Like I was in wrestling. I would work out with my brother, all this kind of stuff. I was very like physically fit when I was younger. I could bench press about 120. I was very strong, very physically fit. Um, and I've lost a lot of that. So in more recent years, especially because I had gained so much weight, um, I got really self-conscious, and I'm still really self-conscious about going to the gym, especially when there were a lot of people there who are like really physically fit and kind of like the gym bros, the gym girlies, who it's like they're really physically fit and they wear, they're wearing their skin tight yoga pants or their like cut off shirts that are basically being held on by a paperclip. Um, and I just get like really self conscious because I feel like whether or not they are, I feel like I'm being judged, which looking at me now, you may not think that I care much about people judging me, but like in that environment, I get really self conscious because I think that's the environment where like most of my insecurities get shown on the surface. So I found a gym that's open 24 hours most days. It's not open 24 hours every day a week, but like I think it's 4 to 5 days a week it's open 24 hours. Um, and so at like 11:30 at night, I went to the gym and I didn't do any weightlifting, but I did do the treadmill for about an hour and a half. Um, I want to start doing weights hopefully next time, but I want to strike a balance of like doing like pushing myself but not making myself unable to work the next day. um so yeah, so I did the treadmill and I did about 3.5-ish miles. The first time I forgot to set the timer right, so it cut me off at like 30 minutes, and so I didn't get my full distance reading. But I think with because then I went back in and did it all, whatever. But I think with that, it was just over 3.5 miles. Um, and it was at an incline, it was like a three incline. So when you do the like incline thing, it was up at um, the like three notches incline. Um, yeah, sorry, for people who don't know, for treadmills, you can hit the incline and it'll do like half, one, 1.5, two, 2.5, three. So I was on three. Um, and then, yeah, so did that at a pretty good clip for about an hour and a half. Got about 3.5 miles, a little over 3.5 miles at that. Um, so yeah, that was really good. Um, just as like a way to break into doing the gym again. I don't have like an idea in my head of like I'm gonna go to the gym every day or even just like, oh, on these days I'm gonna go to the gym. My work schedule is so weird and sporadic and all that kind of stuff that I'm gonna basically go when I can go, probably on nights when I'm gonna have the day off the next day. Um, which, hit or miss. But I honestly I'm kind of excited. Like I'm very nervous. I was extremely nervous going to the gym yesterday. But I went at like 11:30 at night because that's when it said there was like nobody there. And I got there and there were all of like four people there, which was nice. There were a bunch of guys that were actually leaving when I got there, but yeah, when I actually got in, there were like four people and it was like an elderly gentleman and a couple other ladies, and I don't know, that made me feel a little better. Just yeah, uh, just to kind of have the space more to myself and not have people there that I feel like are judging me. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm gonna start going to the gym more to kind of help compensate for the fact that I've kind of stalled out with the weight loss. Um, but I'm feeling a lot better. Like it's weird to say because I'm still like a very heavy set person. Um, but physically I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not eating as much junk. I still eat junk. Like you can ask my coworkers. Somebody brought donuts the other day and I had a donut. um, so like I still eat junk and I still eat things that like maybe aren't the best for me, but I've cut a lot of it out. I don't even eat near the amount that I used to eat, and I also don't eat as much of um the like fried foods or anything like that. Like yeah, I what was it like 2 weeks ago now? I had some crab rangoons. And I think that was like the first time I'd had deep fried food in a hot minute, and I could like feel it sitting in my gut. Um, and yeah, and I think the last time I ordered pizza was a hot minute ago. And it's funny because like it used to be that like I would order pizza and I would eat the entire pizza by myself, and I would feel ill afterwards. But the last time I ordered pizza, I had like two slices, and I literally I it surprised me because in my head I just went, okay, that's enough. And I like kind of stopped and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Was that just me? But I think just like really taking the time to learn how much I really need. Um, because I've said this before of like when I started counting my calories and brought it down to about 2000, I realized that I really don't need as much as I thought I did. Like, I'd make a huge amount of food and feel like I have to eat it because I made it. But when I make like a portion size and then I eat it, I'm like, oh, like that's actually enough. And now I'm getting to the point where like my body is just naturally going, yeah, I think that's good. I think that's enough. And I'm listening to it. And I feel like that's a huge step for me is just really consciously paying attention to those moments and then abiding by them. Consciously paying attention to when my body is like, yeah, you can stop now, and then actually listening to it when my body gives me those cues. Um, because I think looking back, I think I actively ignored some of those cues just because I was like, comfort yourself with food. um, yeah. So overall, like physically, I'm feeling a lot better. I don't feel as like groggy and lethargic and anything anymore. Um, and on top of that, I have started when I get up in the morning, just like tacking on an extra like 10 to 15 minutes, just to like get up and do some stretches in the morning. I've only been doing that for a few days, so this isn't something that I've been doing for like weeks now. I've only been doing it for like 3 or 4 days, and already I can feel the difference in like how my joints feel. I mostly stretch out like my hips and my legs just because those are the spots that are sorest at the end of the day, or sorest, most sore at the end of the day, especially at the end of a day of work. So I've started stretching those out. Um, and yeah, literally, it's been less than a week and I can already feel the difference, which is wild to me. Um, and even like 2 days in, I could feel it. So it's crazy. Like I know that it's going to be a long road for me to actually like feel a significant difference, but it's wild to me that I can already feel minor differences in my body just from adding these little things. So, if going to the gym is going to be a big help, then I'm very excited for that as well. And I forget who it was. It might have been my friend who's a nutritionist, but it might have been my brother, um, who was saying, like, if you just start exercising, it's probably going to be like 6 weeks before you see a difference, which is fine. Um, but I don't know. I'm very excited just to see where things go. We'll see. Um, I don't know when my next update will be, but I just wanted to really quick hop in and let y'all know where I was and how I'm doing and just kind of do a little update for accountability. I'm feeling really good. Like physically, I feel like I'm doing really well. Um, the only thing that worries me is going into winter. The gym that I'm going to is really close, but I walk everywhere, so we'll see how those late night workouts will go once it hits, 10 below with wind chill. um, but yeah, so take care of yourselves, drink some water. I love you. Bye.